After Hurricane Ian, we sustained damage to our roof, and we had to have ours replaced. We contracted with CMM Services in Port Charlotte, Florida, and they removed the old roof and also replaced plywood in 25 different areas that had to be replaced prior to putting the new roof down. A common problem with home building in Florida is so many different contractors are working on so many different houses at the same time. There'll be a lull in the construction before they get to the next step. A lot of times they will frame out the house and then they will put the sheathing on the roof, but then it's weeks before they come and put the shingles down, which is lots of rain and sun and deterioration. And that was probably what had happened with our roof in some of these spots. So they ended up removing a total of 25 sections that had to have new sheets of plywood put down. And then after re-nailing everything in place, they put a type of an underlayment over it called peel and stick. And this is an adhesive rubber underlayment that goes underneath of the shingles but over top of the plywood. And once it's installed and nailed down, even if there is a lag between the time that they can come put the shingles on, the house is still waterproof. The crew of 6 showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning and immediately got to work removing the old roof and then putting in the new plywood. It took a total of 3 days to do everything. The first day they removed all the old roofing and got the pieces of plywood cut and put into place. Then the next day they put down the peel and stick and started to do some of the shingling, as well as putting in the drip edge and putting in the new fittings that go onto the roof for vents. And also there's going to be 2 areas that previously did not have any ventilation and were having ridge vents put in. The inspectors will actually allow them to install 50% of the roof prior to getting the inspection, and then upon successful completion of the inspection, they can finish the other half. And that's what took the 3rd day. So they only worked about 6 hours the 3rd day, finishing everything up. They were always very careful to put down tarps, and they were constantly cleaning and running a magnet around, picking up nails. And here you can see going up and down the ladders, putting the shingles on the roof. They did it the old-fashioned way, up on their shoulders. And these guys didn't waste any time. They didn't talk much, and they didn't waste any effort. Everything was all about business. We were fortunate enough to have beautiful weather the entire time they were there, so we didn't have any threat of rain. And the temperatures were pretty mild. They were about 80 to 85 degrees, so it wasn't too brutal up on the roof. We chose a 3-dimensional architectural shingle that really has a nice look to it when it's installed, and it's guaranteed for 30 years. I don't know which is more mesmerizing to watch, the roofers putting down the shingles in time lapse or the clouds rolling by. Here you can see they got to about the 50% mark and then started cleaning up for the day. This is when they had told me that they were going to have the inspection the next day and then finish after that. The inspector was only there for about 10 minutes and they resumed the next morning. As they were finishing up for the day, I figured it would be a good time to break out the drone and buzz them on the roof to see if I could make them fall off. Not really. they said it was fine, and I told them I wouldn't get too close. You can see how the architectural shingles have like a shadow effect and kind of make them look three-dimensional, which looks really neat from the street. Here's another look at that shadowing three-dimensional effect that you get from the architectural shingles. I would highly recommend this company if I needed roofing again.